This is the Yay or Nay Show with Alex C. A sports show for sports fans by a sports fan. And now, here is Alex C.
Here we go. It is the Yay or Nay Show with Alex C., the sports show for sports fans by a sports fan. Again, big thank you to everybody for your support. We are consistently now a top 200 ranked podcast for sports news on Apple Podcasts. And again, thank you very much for following the show. Speaking of following the show, the Twitter page at Yay or Nay Podcast is the address to the Twitter page. Again, at Yay or Nay Podcast is the address to the official Twitter page where I put up the Yay or Nay questions, which, by the way, I do have a couple of results that have recently come back. Here we go. Should Deshaun Watson be considered innocent since the grand jury decided not to move forward with criminal charges? Now, a couple of days ago, after it was announced that Deshaun Watson was not going to get criminal charges filed against him, a lot of people went on YouTube and other social media platforms as well. But a lot of the answers and responses that I read were on YouTube. And actually, the thing was that I noticed was everybody was saying how he should sue the girls. He should, sue them for slander, defamation of character, and all this stuff. But here's the thing. Yes, they're not bringing up criminal charges against Deshaun Watson. No, that does not mean they cannot move forward with their civil cases. And also keep in mind, not everything was brought out in regards to evidence against Deshaun Watson. It's a grand jury. They give you a synopsis of what's available, what they're going to try and prove. They don't go through everything detail by detail, line by line in regards to what the case is. It's not a full-blown trial. It is an expedited version of a trial where you get summaries of what you are charging the individual with and what you're going to use to prove your charges against that individual. The grand jury in this case, again, voted not to move forward with the criminal charges. And again, I saw a lot of people saying a lot of disparaging stuff about the women, calling them names and saying all these things, and which really surprised me. I thought we were in a different era now where women were supported, where they could feel confident and free to make comments and bring charges up against powerful men. But based on what I was reading, I got to admit, I'm a little surprised in regards to what I was reading about the comments that people were making about these women. Again, I don't know whether Deshaun Watson is or is not guilty. It is not my business, not my place to say whether Deshaun Watson is or is not guilty. But the thing is that there is still a lot of legal proceedings to take place. I'm a little surprised people have become so judgmental, and I'm a little surprised in regards to the comments that have been made. And in the era where you have these social justice warriors of the national media, I'm surprised, but then again, I'm not, because again, they're hypocrites. So I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but for a lack of a better term, I'm surprised they haven't come out to defend any of these women whatsoever as far as the comments that are being made about them. Because again, the whole idea is you're supposed to feel comfortable and confident about bringing charges against powerful men, because in the past you never could do it before, because this very thing would take place, and it's taking place now. So again, these alleged social justice media warriors, like big mouth Max Kellerman and so on and so forth, that are always claiming how they're here for everybody, follow their lead. They got the moral compass of what an individual is supposed to be. Yet, when they got a chance to prove it, of course, as always, big mouth Max Kellerman and others continue to fail. With that being said, though, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because I've done that once before and I don't want to do that today. What I do want to talk about is, again, the question, should Deshaun Watson be considered innocent since the grand jury decided not to move forward with criminal charges? 63% of the people said, yay, he should be considered innocent. Again, I think it's too early. I think you should let the civil justice process take place. But a lot of people have made up their mind already. 63% of the people that voted, yes, he should be considered guilty. Another question. Are you excited that Tom Brady decided to come out of retirement? Well, we all know the story there, right? Old news. We kind of thought it might happen anyways. He was leaving the door open. He was making it a little too obvious that obviously it was weighing very, very heavily on his mind in regards to coming out of retirement. Some people think that, his retiring was premature and he felt a little forced into it. Bottom line is 68% of the people that voted are not excited about Tom Brady coming back. I am one of the 68% of people, one of the most boring quarterbacks in the NFL. Yes, obviously accomplished. Yes, he wins when it counts. But, folks, he's one of the most boring quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know what it is about Tom Brady, but there's something about him that is just a snooze fest. All right, now, staying with the NFL for a quick moment and staying with the national media for a moment, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, they both have now signed multi-year deals with the four-letter network to be the voices of Monday Night Football, which obviously will be a significant improvement to Monday Night Football. So that somewhat is good news. Again, Troy Aikman, I know Troy Aikman's deal is a 5-year, $90 million deal. I don't see any terms for Joe Buck in here in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure that will be released at some point in the near future. But again, I know that the terms for Troy Aikman was a 5-year, $90 million deal. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman signed a multi-year deal again with the four-letter network to be the voices of Monday Night Football. And again, that will be a vast improvement to Monday Night Football. Absolutely. Moving over to Major League Baseball for a quick minute, and we're going to kind of flip back and forth in today's program. The A's trade Matt Chapman to the Toronto Blue Jays for prospects. That is correct. You heard me correctly. Max Chapman going to the Toronto Blue Jays for prospects. The rebuilding A's will receive 4 minor league prospects: right-handed pitcher Gunnar Hoglund, Toronto's top pick in the 2021 amateur draft, infielder Kevin Smith, and left-handed pitchers Zach Logue and Kirby Snead. Chapman, who is 28, is a 3-time Gold Glove winner, 2018, 19, and 21, and was an all-star in 2019. He spent his first 5 seasons with Oakland, registering a .243 career batting average. So once again, you're looking at Matt Chapman moving from the Oakland A's to the Toronto Blue Jays for prospects. Staying with baseball, looking at the Chicago Cubs, Saya Suzuki agrees to a 5-year, $85 million deal. Yes, 5 years, $85 million must be nice. Suzuki met with the Cubs front office and team chairman Tom Ricketts on Monday night before agreeing to the deal. It's the highest salary for a Japanese position player coming to Major League Baseball and the second largest behind pitcher Masahiro Tanaka. $155 million contract with the New York Yankees in 2014. The 27-year-old Suzuki joins the Cubs after playing 9 seasons for the Hiroshima Toyo Carp and Nippon Professional Baseball. He hit .319 with 38 homers and 88 RBIs in 2021 and has a .315 career average with 182 homers and 562 RBIs. Again, the Chicago Cubs signed Saya Suzuki to a 5-year, $85 million deal. Moving back over to the NFL, let's talk a little bit about free agency here. The NFL free agency, obviously, as you know, officially started today. Now they can finally ink all the deals, all the ones that have been verbal thus far, and, of course, the ones that have been completed today. And let's talk about some of the ones that were completed today. So what we're looking at here is Bengals to re-sign safety Michael Thomas. No reported terms on the deal, however. But, again, the Bengals are re-signing safety Michael Thomas. Wide receiver Landry, can I speak English today, is visiting the Atlanta Falcons. So we'll see what happens there. Vikings are signing tight end Munt. So we'll see what the terms are there. I'm trying to see if they show. Yes, they do. So we got a 2-year, $200,000 signing bonus and a $50,000 workout bonus in 22 and 23. And so, again, there's a lot of moves being made. I'm just looking. A lot of them are still coming up even as we speak. And the terms that I gave you right now actually are for Moon. Yes, I just had to verify that I was correct. They are for Moon. And the deal is $200,000 signing bonus, $50,000 workout bonus in 22-23. It's a 2-year deal. It does not give, however, what the annual salary is. That's what I've been trying to look up here. It does not show me the annual salary. But again, tight end Moon is signing, with the Vikings. Titans agree on terms with running back Cannon. Terms, again, not released. It looks like they're just releasing a lot of information, not a lot of terms, but the Titans agree to terms with running back Cannon. With Bradbury still on the Giants roster, $2 million becomes guaranteed for the New York Giants. So James Bradbury remains on the Giants roster, and $2 million has just become guaranteed for him. And his base salary is $13.4 million for the deal. The Browns did not tender kicker Chase McLaughlin. So that's interesting news. Outside linebacker for the Green Bay Packers, the pass rusher Zadarius Smith is signing a 4-year, $35 million deal and has a maximum value of $50 million with the Baltimore Ravens. So again, former Green Bay Packer pass rusher Zadarius Smith signing a 4-year, $35 million deal and has a max value of $50 million with the Baltimore Ravens. Lots of moves. This is volatile, and it's moving. Even as I'm sitting here doing the show, there is still stuff streaming in. Free agent offensive tackle Trent Brown is scheduled to visit the Seahawks. That could be very interesting. The Jets are trading linebacker Cashman to the Texans. So that's interesting news. The Cardinals are signing tight end Williams and cornerback Gladney, Jeff Gladney, who was found not guilty on felony assault charges last week. He's been signed to a 2-year deal by the Arizona Cardinals. And again, see, I don't know, folks. I don't know what's going on. Not guilty on felony assault charges. Do we know what did happen? Is the league going to put some kind of a suspension on him? What's going on there? That is really interesting to me. Again, this stuff is fluid, still coming in as we speak. The Cardinals have released defensive lineman Jordan Phillips. Jacksonville Jaguars making news. Will Richardson is signing a 1-year, $2 million deal to return to the Jaguars. Chicago Bears are making news. The Bears announced a flurry of moves now made official at the start of the new league year, including Khalil Mack trade to the Chargers. Chicago also, hold on. Sorry about that. And this thing is just going crazy. I got stuff like still flowing in. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my spot as this stuff is going so crazy. Hold on a second. I apologize. Gladney releasing Trevathan. God dang, this thing is going crazy in here. I can't believe this. It's like I can't keep up. Hold on. Trying to get back to where we were here. There's just so many moves. Hold on. Sorry. Still stuff just trickling through. Let's see. Hold on a second. Hold on. Well, let me go to what just came in. So the Bengals are going to re-sign safety Michael Thomas. That just came in. We talked about Landry. We talked about Moon. We talked about Cannon. Bradbury. We talked about him. The Browns not tendering McLaughlin, the kicker. We talked about him. Ravens. We talked about them. Jesus, there's just so much stuff going on and so much stuff coming in. I'm having a hard time keeping up. I do apologize because this thing is fluid. The Bears, again, announced a flurry of moves. Okay, so Khalil Mack, we all knew he was going to the Chargers. Danny Trevathan is presumably designated also. So Chicago released linebacker, Danny Trevathan. This is just crazy. The Browns are not tending tight end Carlson. So sorry. There's so much stuff going on. The Steelers are releasing their offensive tackle Banner. Zach Banner getting released from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is just absolutely crazy. This page is going nuts on me. The Titans are planning to release wide receiver Jones. Julio Jones getting released from the Tennessee Titans. The Seattle Seahawks, former Chiefs center Austin Blythe is signing with the Seattle Seahawks. So there's just a lot of things going on. It's just too much to keep up with. This page is going absolutely crazy. I will get you the latest as it comes in. If more comes in right now, I'm so sorry. It's just been absolutely nuts. And we knew it would be today, right? Today, again, first official day of free agency for the NFL. Let's move over to the NBA really quickly. So the Brooklyn Nets had a little fun last night at the expense of the Orlando Magic. They blasted them 150 to 108. But that's not even the big story. A little bit of, I think really it's a drummed up controversy, but I'm going to get into that right now. Kyrie Irving went off last night and scored 60. Okay, Kyrie Irving went off last night and dropped 60 on the Orlando Magic. Now, he got pulled out with, I believe 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter last night, and he dropped 60. My whole thing was this, because this was the big debate. This is what everybody was talking about in regards to this situation. Everybody was going crazy. You had certain amount of people that were mad that Kyrie Irving got pulled. You got other people that are saying they made the right move. Why would you want to risk him getting injured? Okay, here's the thing about this situation with Kyrie Irving, because I think this is the part that people aren't understanding. And some people talked about it a little bit this morning, but I'm going to give you from a fan perspective what we want to see. Because here's the problem with sports media, national sports media. They're only talking to sports executives, players, former players. They're not talking to the fans. They're never talking to the fans. They're only talking to former. That's why it's always about get the bag, get the money, pay them. They deserve to be paid. They deserve this. It's always that garbage. It's very, 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 promotional towards players and getting the bag and social media and all their social justice garbage and all that stuff, right? We watch sports to watch sports. We don't watch the sports to listen to, all these people who are wannabe social justice warriors tell us what their thoughts are and what they believe the morals of the world should be and, what their philosophy on COVID-19 is. We don't watch sports and we don't listen to sports radio to listen to these people's garbage, all right? We don't. They don't get it, though, because their ego gets in the way because they think they're a lot more important than they really are. But that's just their ego. And some people are egotistical like that, and they think that, they can't let an opportunity slip when they have the ability to tell people how they should be, because that's just their ego speaking. One day they will actually mature and they will see that their ego is bigger than their personality actually is. But with that being said, the bottom line is the question was Kyrie Irving, should he have stayed in the game? Should he have been pulled in the game? Again, you had certain people that said that it was right for him to get pulled from the game. You had other people that said that it was a bad move to pull him from the game. From a fan perspective, and I'm going to put this up as a question on the official podcast page. And again, at Yay or Nay Podcast is the address to the official podcast page. But from a fan perspective, I can tell you, most people want to see him continue to drop more than 60. If you still got 8 minutes in the game, I don't care that they're smoking Orlando. Everybody was enjoying the show that Kyrie Irving was putting on last night. It's why you pay the big money to get in the building and watch those games live. It's why you turn on the TV to watch your favorite superstar play. When Kobe Bryant dropped 81, you didn't see people hollering to get him pulled out once he hit 50. You watched it. You liked it. You admired it because that's what fans want to see. Fans want to see guys perform at their elite best every chance possible. That's what fans want. And when you're talking about Kyrie Irving and the very, very weak, and I mean weak, argument about pull him so he doesn't get injured, he's barely playing. He can only play away games. He's not going to play like the next 4 games, I believe it is. So why are you worried about him getting injured with only 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter? And he's barely playing games to begin with because he can only play away games because of the ridiculous COVID-19 restrictions that they have in New York. And yes, you did hear me correctly. The ridiculous COVID-19 restrictions that they have in New York. So why would you pull Kyrie Irving? People pay to see that. People turn on the TV to see that. We want to see our superstars be elite as much as possible. And Kyrie Irving was having a magic moment last night. Why, no pun intended, why would you pull him when he's dropped 60 with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter? I don't want to hear the garbage about, oh, well, you need him for the playoffs. He might not even play the first round of the playoffs if they play against the Toronto Raptors. And the chances of him getting hurt, which are minimal, absolutely minimal with only 8 minutes left to go in the game, and the fact that he's only playing away games and he's not playing home games, so he's limited on what he's going to be playing the rest of the remaining regular season, why would you pull him out? It's absolutely ridiculous. So for the people that are sitting there saying, oh, you guys, you don't know what you're talking about. No. The problem with sports media is you don't understand why fans watch the game. Again, your egos make you think you understand. Your egos make you think that you understand what a fan is looking for. But really, it's your ego that makes you think, as sports media guys, that you can dictate to fans what it is they should see, how they should see it, when they should see it, and what they should appreciate. Because that's your egos thinking that you have the ability to dictate to fans how it should be. But the reality is, that's why in most markets in America, you sports national radio guys don't have any ratings at all. I'm here in the 602. I see your ratings all the time. I'm in radio. You guys have 0 ratings out here at all. 0 ratings, national sports media guys with the big egos. You got no ratings. Nobody listens. Nobody. Very few people listen. Not enough to register any ratings, though. And that's what the name of the game is. It's all about ratings, something that you guys absolutely don't get in most markets. In very, very few markets does the sports national media actually get radio ratings. In very, very few markets. And Phoenix, Arizona, the number 14 market in America, is not one of them. The national sports media guys do not get ratings. So their egos are a lot bigger than their talent. That's number one. Number two, they don't understand what fans are looking for. Fans are looking to see Kyrie Irving go off. It would have been unbelievable to see if Kyrie Irving could have got past 81, maybe got to 90, because he looked like he was on track to get to 90. He might have even gotten a little past 90, but it would have been fun to see if he can get to 90. But instead, you take that fun away because he's sitting on the bench. That was just absolutely a bad move and a bad look because, again, the NBA needs that boost. The NBA needs the luxury of players going off like that, especially when it's the offseason for the NFL and you're still having a hard time as the NBA competing with the NFL to make front page news. So you absolutely should allow things like that to happen. You've had a lot of players going off lately in the NBA, but this is the unbelievable exhibition being put on by one of the most unbelievable currently in the NBA players in the NBA, and you took him out of the game. Makes no sense. All right, staying with the NBA really quickly. Let's talk power rankings. Let's just read them all the way down. Starting at number 1, the team who's been number 1 pretty much predominantly most of the season, the Phoenix Suns. Look, I'm going to tell you, though, in all honesty, and again, keep in mind, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan. I'm all about the Phoenix Suns. I personally think the Suns should drop. They've lost a few games. I don't think even with Chris Paul it would have made a difference. I think the Suns are playing at a lower level than what they've been playing. And believe me, they're not turning it off or toning it down to get ready for the playoffs. That's not what's going on. So I think the Suns are in for some hard times, even with Chris Paul here. I think they'd still be having the hard times they're currently having. They're just not playing very good, consistent basketball. Number 2, I think this is one of the most overrated teams in the NBA coming in at number 2, the Miami Heat. They're good, but they're not that good. They're just not. They're good, but they're not that good. Here's another overrated team, I believe. They're really not a top 5 team. They might be, right outside the 5, but Memphis Grizzlies, number 3. Ja Morant, everybody likes him. He's Mr. Excitement. I get it. He's Mr. Highlight Reel. He can't lead a team to the promised land. He can't get them to the NBA finals, and he can't win the finals. Golden State Warriors, inconsistent ball. I get it. Everybody's talking about they should be excited because, Draymond Green is back, and that should make a very huge difference. I don't know that I agree with it, but time will tell because something's been happening with Golden State where them and the Suns are playing very inconsistent basketball. I would put this team above the 3 that we previously just discussed. Milwaukee Bucks still playing very, very consistent ball. And Brook Lopez is going to return here very soon. So I think that if he hasn't already, I don't know for sure, but Brook Lopez, when he returns, is going to make the Milwaukee Bucks one notch above what they're already playing, and they're playing very good ball. Philadelphia, they're kind of a mystery to me. They've taken a couple of losses recently that I don't think they should have taken, but they're still playing great ball, and they're still vastly improved with James Harden. So the Philadelphia 76ers are at number 6. Boston Celtics, a team that slowly but surely is creeping up. I would probably elevate them from the number 7 position that they're currently in. But the Boston Celtics, again, right now, currently are number 7. Dallas Mavericks are at number 8. I have no really big thoughts on Dallas. I think they're a 50-50 ball club. They're not anybody that's really a threat to do anything in the West, in my opinion. But they're a good ball club. They're a solid ball club, but they're not somebody you have to worry about. A team that maybe might be able to turn it on in the playoffs, I think, is the Utah Jazz. Again, they obviously continue to fight injuries, but if they can get some of these injured people back, I think Utah can make a run. Chicago Bulls, another overrated team. I get it. They had a little spurt in the middle where they looked great, but they're overrated. They don't have the lineup to make a long run in the stretch, but they currently are at number 10. Denver Nuggets, who just had an impressive victory over the Philadelphia 76ers recently. Again, another team that has always done well. They've always played very well in the playoffs. They're always very tough to beat in the playoffs. I think they will be once again this year. Can they, finally get over that hump? Well, time will tell. Brooklyn Nets. Well, they're playing better ball as of late, still missing the piece that they just traded for in Ben Simmons, and they are currently ranked number 12. They are arguably the team that I don't care if they're ranked 32 right now, could still win the NBA Finals if they can get Ben Simmons in that lineup. And, of course, if they can get Kyrie on the court even more, that would ensure the fact that they would be a number 1 contender for the NBA championship. But, Kyrie Irving, is he really going to get to play anything other than away games this year? I doubt it. I don't think New York's going to change any of their rules as far as COVID goes. Cleveland Cavaliers, a team, again, that I've been impressed with all year long. They are still exceeding my expectations. I didn't expect much from them this year, coming in at number 13. Toronto Raptors, another team that everybody talks a lot about, says they're great, possibly could be the first-round matchup for the Nets. The advantage would be that, if they have home court advantage over the Nets, that would mean Kyrie Irving wouldn't be able to play the series at all because he can't play at home, can't play away because Toronto doesn't allow anybody either to play with their COVID protocols. So they would have to play only one man on that roster if Ben Simmons doesn't get on the court, and that would be Kevin Durant. Although, I will say this much, Kevin Durant on his own with the rest of that roster might be enough to get past the Raptors. I'm not that big of a believer in the Raptors. The only advantage, again, they have are the rules that are in place to protect them from having to face Kyrie Irving and KD. Minnesota Timberwolves coming in at number 15. They're an interesting team. They're a fun team. They're 9 games above 500. But again, not anybody really that I'm that impressed with. Same thing could be said for the LA Clippers, who I think are overrated at this point, being number 16. I get it. They're 2 games above 500, but to me, they're just, I know they've been playing a little bit better ball lately, but they're just kind of, Atlanta Hawks, again, another team playing a little bit better ball lately. This is the right time of year to do it. If you're going to do it, if you're going to make a run, now's the time. But I don't know, again, and I've said this before, if the Atlanta Hawks can make a run like they did last year. They just don't seem, to me, to have what they need to flip the switch and turn it on like they did last year. Last year might have just been a stroke of luck. Charlotte Hornets coming in at number 18. The LA Lakers, why are we even discussing them? Arguably one of the worst teams in basketball. They've got nothing. I don't even want to talk about the LA Lakers, but they are number 19. I think they should be a lot lower. New Orleans Pelicans, a team, like I said, since the All-Star break, they've been playing a lot better basketball, a lot more competitive, a lot tougher. So it's just, a time for New Orleans to see what they have and really look towards next season. Really, that's what I think of when I think of the New Orleans Pelicans. The Washington Wizards, another team that's sub 500, not really interesting, coming in at number 21. New York Knicks, always competing, always failing, but at least always competitive, coming in at number 22. San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich, the guy everybody celebrates. I don't know why. Without real superstars, he doesn't seem to be a winner, and yet they still celebrate him anyways. I don't know. I'm just not a big Popovich fan. Anytime you get a coach and he has to have superstars in order to win, that tells me he really is not that good of a coach. Portland Trailblazers coming in at number 24. I'm surprised they're that high. They've been failing all year long, really. Sacramento Kings, a team that has little spurts, but let's face it, they're just not that good. Neither are the Indiana Pacers, coming in at number 26. Detroit Pistons, who have been at the bottom of the barrel most of the year, have at least somewhat looked a little bit better as of late. Oklahoma City Thunder, sitting like they always have, bottom of the barrel, number 28. Orlando Magic, let's face it, it's between them and Houston. Houston coming in at 30, Orlando at 29, the two worst teams in the NBA. And that rounds up the power rankings for the NBA. So again, sorry about the way it came down with all of the current trades that are going on in the NFL. Again, it's fluid, it's fast, it's moving. The board that I was looking at just kept updating like crazy. I couldn't keep up. Obviously, my computer screen couldn't keep up, but I gave them to you as good as I could. Obviously, there'll be more moves made at the end of this podcast, I'm sure, and then, of course, tomorrow. So we'll talk about those moves and a whole lot more tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk tomorrow. It's the A or Nay Show with Alex C.